Hey, folks, this is Lonzo live here with my fellas, Kevin Collins and Curtis Bray, and we are doing the Mentality Show, folks. The Mentality Show. We do this every Wednesday by 6 o'clock on Wednesday, and tonight, today, this evening, we need some mental health. We need some mental health, stress. We need to talk to somebody, talk to each other. This is what brothers need to do more of, because personally, I feel like I've been let down, disappointed, crushed, misled, bullshitted, hoodwinked, all the above.
Bamboozled.
Bamboozled. It's been a long day for me, man. I didn't take it last night. I went to bed early. Well, I did what I had to do. Usually, I had the TV on in the background when I'm working on the paper. I had to turn the TV off. I had to turn some real stupid last night, and just get away from the whole thing, and just wake up this morning and see it with reality. I was hoping that somehow or another some magic happened while I was asleep. No magic happened. He's back. Kevin, what you got to say?
Hey man, you know what? It's time. Like we talking about earlier today. It's time for us, man, to truly just come to a point in our understandings of, you know, we need to stand up together as a people, start doing things and make our lives better. Because this crap is going on right now, man. We've been hoodwinked and bamboozled for over 500 years, and it's all, literally, if we just step back and just say, you know what, we got to start coming together. We're putting all this stuff aside, especially black men, and start saying to ourselves, you know what, bro, I got a problem with you. Let's put these problems aside and let's start moving forward to a more productive future. Because, man, I'm looking at my pops, looking at my grandfather, what they went through. Here we are back at square one again. And it's like, all this, the Black Panther movement, the civil rights movement, all these movements, this generation right now, these kids don't even understand what that means. When they was talking about the kids in Arizona getting turned away because they didn't know how to sign their own signature. It's like we're losing. We're not teaching our kids, and we really need to sit back and say, what am I doing wrong? And what can I do to make this thing more progressive than digressive?
Kurt, what you got?
Yeah, I agree with Kevin's sentiments wholeheartedly, man. A lot of times I don't even care if we pull together. It's just stop concentrating on me. Why are you putting all your time and energy and focus into what I'm doing versus moving, progressing yourself forward? You know what I mean? So I love the whole idea of partnership and collaboration when you get with the right people, but for the most part, as far as everybody doing it, man, I'm proud of anybody that's taking the initiative to pour into their legacy and their family. You know what I mean? And do it. And if there's any way I can help to enhance that, or vice versa, then let's collaborate. But man, it's time for us to kind of stop waiting on other people to be savior and save the day, and and start putting our boots to the ground. You know what I mean? And making it happen.
You
You know,
know, go ahead.
faith without works is dead. So
Mm-hmm.
you can have all the hope in the world, but if you're doing nothing, waiting on it to drop out of the sky, you're gonna get a gift from a bird before that miracle happens. So,
You
um,
know, it's. I listen to a lot of talk radio, black talk radio, and people were crying today, man. People were crying. Women especially were crying, and it's just amazing how the balloon of hope just got busted with no remnants whatsoever. I mean, and because one side is so, I guess I can't call it weak, just so cool, baby girl. She came in, she gave her concession speech. Meanwhile, before the election day even jumped off, the other side was filing lawsuits in various counties claiming voter fraud, and anybody even seen the results yet. And it just lets me know, man. It just shows. how he wasn't even sure. He wasn't even sure it was going to happen. You know, he had, you know, he thought he had a shot, but he wasn't sure. He was prepared. If I don't win, it's going to be voter fraud. Well, you won, and anybody saying shit about voter fraud. Nothing. Not even part of the conversation today. America's great again. America's happy. America is a great country. It was a dump. It was a dump last week when you was trying to get the keys. Now you got the keys. It's all good. But I think about and here's the part that people really, really don't get, man. It ain't about him. It's about the Supreme Court. It's about the other Superior Court judges he get to appoint. It's all the other stuff that he can bring to the table, especially now that the Supreme Court then gave him immunity for everything. He got that before he even got in office. So even Biden could have used some of that. But you know, he busy, you know, he busy ready to pack up and get up out of there. But once he touched down, once Trump touched down, the Supreme Court already put him in position to clear his record and go on about his business, not pay nobody no fines, keep his money, and he was able to kick all that shit, all them cases down, to kick him down the road just in time to win the election. So hey, he supposed to go to court on the 26th to get sentenced. Ain't gonna happen. It was frustrating, man. It's like watching one of those old movies from down south, how you got this sheriff that just does all this messed up shit and just nothing ever happens to him. It just nothing ever happened to him. And those movies are hard to watch, man. They're hard to watch. You see brothers get accused of things they didn't do. You see brothers get hung for things they didn't do. You see the sheriff lie, cheat, whatever the case may be, and anything ever happened to him. Meanwhile, everybody around them is just burning in the carnage. And it's just really a hard thing to watch, especially when you're a person of logic. Logic is how I live. And if it don't make sense, I can't deal with it. And to see something that makes no total sense whatsoever, this dude can get a job working for Caltrans with his record. He couldn't get a job picking up trash on the corner without a written note from the governor. But he could run the country. Man, I don't get it.
I mean, you know, this is man, I hate saying this on this station, but I mean, we think about when you go back to the I think it was called the Maryland Treaty. This was considered white America from that point. You know, they said this is white America. And what is meant by that, I have no idea, because if you go up to Portland, you see a whole bunch of white homeless people. So I don't know what that white America means, but of course we see that if you have that light pigmentation of your skin, there are laws that are set to where they can just brush it off the books. But the closer you come to our pigmentation, you know, now we got problems.
You know, Lyndon B. Johnson said something back in the 60s. He said, if you can make the poorest white man feel like he's better than the richest educated black man, you can pick his pockets forever. Okay, that was part of the Southern strategy back in the 60s. Lyndon B. Johnson knew how to play his people, and Trump, if you've ever heard, is several videos of him saying, "I love the poorly educated." Yes, because they buy your bullshit.
Yeah. He got all of his endorsements by the Dollionaires. There's no millionaire support him. All the Dollionaires supported him.
Right. Except for Elon, he comes from South Africa. So you know what his mindset is at. You know what his mindset is at. He comes from South Africa. We had to go fight in the 70s to get them to overthrow apartheid. He's still predominantly white country.
Right.
So it colonized it. Yeah. Killed all the same thing they did in Mexico. They killed all the blacks, the black males there in South Africa, and let the white and the black women live. And then here it is. They gonna start doing that impregnating them and making their own babies.
You got Trevor Noah. Anyway, man, we're here. It's the Mentality Show, man. We are kicking it. Curtis, Kevin, and Lonzo. Curtis, he don't give a shit. I understand. I don't give a damn, but I do, and that's
Right.
just, I don't because I can't let it stop me from doing what I got to do, but I do because I feel like when you talk to people that you know and respect, and they give you a perspective supporting that situation. I had people tell me I don't trust her. You trust him? How do you trust him?
Right.
I wouldn't trust him with you in the room alone. Why would you give him the keys to your White House? I've had people that said, "Hey, I don't trust her." Women, what has she done that make you not trust her?
Right.
And I know what he's done for me not to trust him. But it just, man, the wiring is so different, so unique. It's just amazing, man.
Well, you know what? I remember, and I was one of the ones who fell for that message. All they did was put into the media what Kamala did in the early 80s, when the was it 80s and 90s when she was doing, working with putting brothers behind bars.
Right.
And it wasn't until I listened to I forgot what station I was listening to, and they started talking about how she, even though she did do that, at the end of it, she created programs for those brothers that she put behind bars to be able to help them when they get out of jail. But that was never publicized.
Right.
It was always talking about what she did to put Black people behind bars. So if you, especially our youth, I have one of my coworkers, both her kids voted for Trump because they felt Trump was a better candidate, and they felt that Kamala was going to be doing what, what Trump called it, fake news, was talking about. So it's, we're listening to the wrong people.
Can I say something? Let me say something for a minute. And I know some people may not appreciate what I'm about to say, but I'm sorry. If you playing the gangster game and you get caught playing the gangster game, whether you're a dope boy, a shooter, whatever the case may be, you get caught up. Her job as a prosecutor was to lock your ass up. You chose that game. You can't. That's like playing football and get mad because somebody tackled your ass.
Right.
You was on the field with a helmet, pads, and you had a ball in your hand. My job is to tackle you.
Right.
So if you play that game and get caught up, it's not her job to pat you on your head. And brothers got that bad. They want to do shit because it's a Black man. Oh man, free so and so. Man, sometimes like Richard Pryor say, thank God for jails. I'm not saying that for all brothers. Richard Pryor said it first. Thank God for jails. Okay, because some cats need to be there. I'm not saying they all did. No, by no means. But again, you knew the possibilities of you getting locked up when you started playing that game.
How about this one, Lonzo?
Go for it.
How about this one? I'm gonna do your devil advocate thing. How about the brother with the same football scenario? Even though he didn't want to play football, he didn't want to get in the dope game. That's what his family put him into. A lot of our kids, they are placed into that realm, and their parents make them do it. I've seen mothers. I had a homeboy, God rest his soul. His mother put him into that dope. Well, his uncles put him to the dope game, and it's unfortunate that he had to lose his life in the process. But I remember as a kid, man, he was like, man, I don't want to be doing this stuff, man, but I gotta do this for my unks, man. If I want to survive, if I want to live, because his own uncles was going to put him in the grave if he didn't do it.
Now you know what? We talked about that over the weekend. Over the weekend, I spent this weekend in Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, and one of the last classes we talked about cultures. And when I thought about this class, and we got to talking, we had a good discussion on culture, especially in the black community. There are so many different cultures within the Black community. Okay, my cousin called them tribes. Okay, there's so many different tribes in the Black community, and I know that everybody has their different type of tribes, but I think we have some of the most diverse tribes and some of the most unique tribes. I mean, the tribe that loves Sexy Red, I don't want to belong to that tribe. The tribe that got their son selling dope. When I watched The Wire, I never forget Neiman, whatever his name was, with the big hair. His mama made him sell dope.
Right.
Mama made him sell dope because his daddy sold dope. Daddy in prison doing all day for selling dope and killing somebody. But because you don't want to work, your son got to go to take a shot at selling dope and going to the penitentiary, although he ain't cut out for that.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, and that gang thing, you know, that the hood thing is something for some families is a rite of passage. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, daddy did it, mama did it. Now you got to do it, or if you do it, I ain't tripping because I did it myself. I made it through. You can make it through too. I had a friend, I can call him my friend. One of the guys that I know told his son he need to go spend some time in jail because he ain't manned up yet. I'm like, you told him what? Like that is a bar mitzvah or some shit. Okay, you nigga had a bar mitzvah. I guess that is a bar mitzvah, huh? Okay.
But you see how
Bar
misguided we are.
Yeah.
We just misguided, man. It's sad when you start looking at the black community. We are a bunch of misguided people. Like you said, we got so many different cultures. It amazes me to see how dysfunctional we are, but at the same time, you know, it amazes me that we don't see the writing on the walls. We see all this what it caused. We see what it's caused in the past, and we still keep on. It's like if you see somebody get hit by a car crossing the street, you know, playing Frogger. We just continuously keep on playing Frogger and crossing the daggone freeway, trying to dodge cars instead of just waiting till the daggone traffic light turns red.
Let me ask you guys a question. Is it more that we don't see it coming, or is it more that the idea that, oh, it won't happen to me?
That's probably more. I think that's more of it than anything.
You know, I hear that more so than anything else. Like, man, I wish I knew. No, most of the time they know.
Right.
You know, but you could tell, like when raising my kids and stuff, you know, to warning them, hey, you know, don't do this, don't do that. You got to watch out for this, watch out for that. And it ends up happening, but not to them. And they're like, well, I'm not worried about it because it didn't happen to me. And they get this condition where they could fly by the seat of their pants or really not pay attention to what's those precautionary flares, you know, those red flags. They just, oh, that won't happen to me. That'll never happen to me. And that's how they get caught up a lot of times, because eventually, you know, to roll that dice enough, you know, you're going to hit that 7, you know? So that's what I think. I think it's more so than that, than a lack of knowledge, you know?
I think it's a combination of all that, Kurt, to be honest with you. Some guys watch other guys make their mistakes and just think they can just do it better because I'm smarter. I'm slicker than he is. But every time the guy who get caught making a mistake, the police learn or the investigators learn a new way of how y'all doing things. Like back in the day, I remember when Ice Cube had a record. He talked about having his gun someplace locked up, and everybody was mad because why you telling the police where the guns are? Police already knew.
Right.
I already know what back in the day when you had a pullout, cats had fake pullouts. Okay? They had fake pullouts. Or they'd have a pullout and they have the radio in the glove compartment, and the pullout would be the fake. And they, you know, if they want to get to their piece, they just pull out the pullout, and there it is. But now it was in the glove compartment.
Right.
So, you know, it just makes for I don't know, man. It just everybody wants to be Nino Brown. They want to be Freeway Rick until it's time to go to the penitentiary.
You know, that's true too. Because I'm thinking about now. I remember, because you know, I'm all of us South Central kids. All of us grew up in the hood,
right?
And I remember seeing the homies, you know, go through what they went through, and also just to add to it, it could be a point of choice. You know, do I choose to take this route? Because I mean, the dope game looked good. I seen a homie had a back when the box, or what they call it,
5.0?
box. Yeah, man. When the big dude, he had the man. It was clean. He was out there doing his thing. I was like, man, I want me one of those. But I seen what the route he had to go through to get it. And I was like, man, I don't know if I want to take that route, man, because the chances of me going to the pen, I'm cool with that. I don't want to go to the pen. I don't want to be locked up. My grandfather always told me, it's two types of birds. It's the eagle and it's the pigeon. You choose the ones you want to be. You want to be that one to get locked up, or you want to be that one that's always soaring in the air being free.
Right. Now, you know what? I heard the same thing about pigeons and eagles. The guy said you got penguins, pigeons, and eagles. They're all birds, but they don't hang out together. They're all birds. You ain't never seen an eagle walking with a penguin. You ain't never seen a penguin flying with a bird with a pigeon. Okay, it don't work like that. They all consider birds. And when you think about that, sometimes you got to think about your own culture. You got eagles, you got hawks, you got pigeons, and you got penguins, and they're all birds. And then you got your vultures.
And you got your crows.
You got your crows. Okay, so
man, that's a cold scenario when you start thinking about birds, and then us as Black people.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Wow.
Man, that's a good one.
Yeah, you got folks that's gonna soar no matter what. And eagles soar higher than hawks, but hawks can dive faster than eagles. Eagles can dive at 200 miles an hour. Pick up a rabbit and keep on going. Pick up a fish and keep on going. Okay, so when you got so many different types of birds that can do different things. But one thing about it, the eagle flies the highest out of everybody. Hawk right next to it. But the eagle can see some shit. I don't know. But anyway, man, let's get back to human beings. It's a cold game, Doc. It's the cold game, and I wish we knew how to play it better. I wish we could play it better, man. This is some three-dimensional chess that people are playing, and we playing checkers. Folks are mad because they see sprinkles on the cake. I don't like sprinkles on my cake. I don't want the cake. But you throw away the whole cake, man, but get past some sprinkles. There's a certain thing.
Get past the sprinkles. That's right.
Because everybody, and all they gave us was a bunch of sprinkles. Abortion, immigration, and all these things they know people have a problem with. But on the same token, you also put yourself in position to appoint Supreme Court justices for the next 20 years. You also put yourself in position to change laws and change, accept that immunity that the Supreme Court gave them for the next God knows how long. This dude could literally be a fucking king, based on it may not call him King Trump, but he could damn near have immunity of a king based on some of the things that the Supreme Court already have in place. All he got to do is touch down.
Yep.
But I don't think, and I don't like using the word America because America, we are the United States of America. So, to think of it as of what we are, it's like we're the United States. And the United States does not want any of their presidents to be put behind bars. Whether it's, once you've been a president of the United States, they're trying to make you seem like you're this whatever, token or whatever. They want to put you up on this pedestal. So I didn't even think that man was going to go to jail because he's been a president. Because that's how the United States works. It's like, no, we can't have that hanging over our head. You've put one of your presidents behind bars and he's a criminal. I tell you, it's the system that we live in.
Right.
Point there, but Obama better not get a damn traffic warrant. If Obama get a traffic warrant, that theory gonna go out the goddamn jail, out the window. You best believe that one.
He better not dry his underwear on a clothesline outside, man.
Right. That's that. You may have a point, but Obama better not get a traffic warrant or dry his clothes draw his drawers on the coat line, a coat hanger outside, because he going to jail.
He got a smart lawyer. He got Michelle.
Yeah.
A lawyer in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the whole idea, if he had said any of the things that homeboy has said and just done any of the things, he'd have been disqualified for decades. I thought Trump was done when he was on the bus talking about grabbing pussies. I swear to God. There you go. It's done. You know, I watch political. I watch a lot of political, black political shows. I like listening to black radio shows. And when you hear like the brother Al Franken, he got accused of some shit that was damn near 20 years old, and he just stepped down. Meanwhile, there was a dude in Texas. He was texting young girls, caught him in the mall, and he ain't stepped down yet. And Republicans didn't. They ain't giving him up. They never gave him up. They never gave him up.
Right.
That's the difference. We're the nice guys, man. We're the nice guys. We're the ones that's cordial, and when it's time to step down, we step down. And them motherfuckers are still mad from the Civil War. They still mad from the Civil War, and they ain't gonna forget about it. They ain't gonna give it up, and they still try to get back. If they could, they bring back the Confederacy. They bring back the Confederacy.
Right.
Yeah, it's a thing though that I see with us though. Is that we got, I mean, I'm gonna say we're organized, but we got a lot of knuckleheads out there that's scary. Them little scary knuckleheads, man. The minute you try and put them behind bars, they don't care about living.
Right.
So they come out with their guns, man, blazing, and they'll do a shootout in a minute. Will that change anything? I don't know, but I do believe it causes fear. We start talking about these little Proud Boys and all them, you know, they think twice because they know if they come in these neighborhoods where we at, the scary ones are gonna slow them down, and then when they finally get to the ones who can really put some harm on them, they're gonna be so small that it's not gonna be worth it.
Right.
You sound like somebody gonna run up there and do some real go to the hood with some folks and go try and do what? Take over the hood for what?
Well, remember that? Remember the Proud Boys tried to do that on Crenshaw?
When?
That was a while ago. It was about they was planning on coming up on Crenshaw and marching on Crenshaw early this year.
They didn't show up.
Really?
No, they didn't show up because the Bloods and the Crips made it be known. No, you better not come over here.
I remember.
Wow.
I remember
that
rumor. I remember that rumor of 2000. It was 1999. It was a rumor of a bunch of allegedly a bunch of white boys is coming from the valley to roll on Crenshaw. Wait. On buses? You gonna roll down Crenshaw off the 405 in some slow ass buses?
Target practice. Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Right, exactly.
This ain't making no sense. So
No sense at all.
when I heard that, I'm like, think about what you just said, man. Somebody gonna get a bus and ride down to the hood
It's not a smart move.
and come sweat the brothers on buses. You can't even leave fast. The 405 gonna have you locked in traffic for 2 hours.
Yeah.
you are a sitting target.
That was an intentional plan.
That was not well thought out at all.
Nah.
You
I
ain't
mean,
gonna make it, man.
yeah, if they were trying to go, get some food or something, someplace they saw on TikTok, I mean, that makes sense, but they were intentionally planning on just infiltrating.
No, what I would see something a little bit more effective. They might go get jobs that would put them in position to be able to do that. They would go get jobs, put them in position to fulfill their fantasies, and they can do it legally and get paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
That would be more. That would make more sense. Huh?
That's interesting. That seems to be going on already.
When I was in tech, when I was traveling back in the day with my group, we would always see signs going up to 10 freeway. All over 10 goes all the way to Florida. You see signs on the freeway saying want to get a job in law enforcement, join the LAPD, the LA Sheriff in Texas, in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
In Texas and Louisiana. You ain't got to be no smart son bitch to carry a gun. All you got to do is pass the physical, and it was a 6-month course.
Mm-hmm.
It takes longer to do a Jerry curl than to learn to be a police.
Yeah, it does.
It takes
sure
longer to
does.
do a Jerry curl.
Longer to learn to do a Jerry curl than it does to become a cop.
Man,
A cop course is like 6 months. Cosmetology course is 9 months. You can get your cop license before you can be able to do a Jerry curl.
wow.
I mean, it's you know, with us, we are. I consider myself to say we, being in the military before, you know, the Marines. It took us, September to November. You know, and I was out of the Marine Corps, but again, we're always constantly training to, you know, especially when I was a humanitarian Marine. You know, we had to train almost every day on that type of work.
Wow.
And when you look at our police officers who's supposed to be patrolling the streets, one, they're getting individuals who've never been in this community, and two, you know, they're not trained properly. They don't know how to de-escalate a situation.
No, they don't.
They don't understand how it is to speak with the public. It ain't like it was back when we had 1 Item 12. You know, 1 Item 12, they just come to the neighborhood and talk to you. Now they throw you on the ground and put you on the hot hood of a car.
Yeah,
man. Kurt, you never really had that, did you? I don't see you dealing with that.
What dealing with what?
The hot hoods, the hot fingertips on the car.
Yeah. On the back, I did. Growing up, I did.
I never forget, man. We was in front of my house, my mama's house. I parked my car, closed the door, and before I can cross the street, the cop cut me off, man, in front of my mama's house. And he threw me, you know, he threw me against the car. He made me put my hands on the hood of the car in the summertime. They don't turn those cars off for days at the end, man. That hood was hot as hell. Okay. And they purposely wanted you to put your hands on the hood.
Yeah.
And man, you literally, your hands are frying on this goddamn hood. I put my fingertips on there as small as I possibly could, but it still hurt like hell. Meanwhile, they was going through the car, took out all my 8-tracks out.
That's exactly what happened to me.
My mom was talking shit the whole time. Okay. Yeah. But when you think about some of the things we've experienced and see as we get older and start to fall off, the new generation won't know none of the shit we're talking about. Nothing about this right here. Just like I was saying. Go ahead.
No, and that's and what you're saying, Alonzo, I want to just piggyback on that. That's why we need to start writing stuff down. We need to start, you know, this media, this stuff right now, this stuff that we putting on here right now, all they can do is take it down. But if we start creating books, start writing books for our kids, you know, to know about our history, to understand what we went through, then that can be something that we may not get all of our kids to look at, but we can have something that's written down in history to where these kids understand, man, this is what they went through in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was, you know, I thought Boys in the Hood was a lie. No, dog, that was a real story.
Real story.
But it wasn't a story about one person. It's a story about pretty much every black man that was in South Central Los Angeles or Compton or Inglewood. We all went through that.
That's true. That's true. You know,
bringing back stop and frisk.
You know, back then it was more so because you really didn't know what your rights or the parameters were. You know, as I got older, you know, about searching your vehicle, I gave them permission to search my car because, I got nothing to hide. You didn't have to do that. You know, They laid me out on the hot concrete in the summer in a shirt and tie on my way to a job interview and pulled all the stuff out of my car and then said, okay. Hey, well, we're going to let you go. They didn't put nothing back, nothing. I had to pack all the stuff. I back in my car, and I was late for my interview with a dirty ass shirt. So,
now let me tell you something. When I was in the Marines, I used to play that role, man. I used to play it. I remember one time the white cop pulled me over. I was about 19 years old, and they already told us, you know, because my gunny, you know, he knew about the racism. Right. So he told me, he said, you know, you are property of the U.S. government. So when every time the police pull you over, you tell them, give me my ticket and keep your hands to your motherfucking self. If you touch me, you're damaging U.S. property. And then you have to answer to higher authorities. Man, I remember a white cop pulled me over, and I said, what do you need, officer? He said, get out the car. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a United States Marine. If you put your hands on me and you damage government property, you're gonna have to answer to higher authorities. The white boy, man, I remember that white boy when he got so daggone red in the face, and my homeboy's in the car with me. He's like, "Who is he?" I said, "Don't worry about who he is." I said, "You talking to this Marine right now?" I said, "So if you give me my ticket. If you ain't got no violations for me, you need to let me go." Man, he got before man, he called another cop up, and whoever the other cop came in, they said something to him. I seen him be like, did like that to him. He got to the car, said, "Man, get your black ass out of here." I said, "Fuck you," and drove off. Oh, that felt so good, man. I used to love that when I was in the military.
My cousin Joe had found this little book about this big. It was traffic laws, and I was going to El Camino College, and I took a couple of law classes, and I showed my instructor this book. He says, we talked about this, about being stopped the whole 9 yards. He explained to me, you don't have to let them stop you, blah, blah, blah. He said, most of the time, cops are playing on your ignorance, and that's how they get away with what they do. You don't know no better, okay? He said, keep this book in your car and tell them you're a law student at El Camino College and see what happens. And I started telling them, I'm a law student at El Camino College, and I know my rights, blah, blah, blah. They start fucking with me. Okay? They start messing. Okay, I kept that book somewhere on my front seat, somewhere visible.
Right.
Law student at El Camino College. I know my rights. Obviously, here's my driver's license. Here's my registration. If I have a ticket coming, I'll take it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
They left me the fuck alone because they would just pull me over just because I was going. Just because I had gas in my car.
Right.
You got some gas. See what he doing. Where you going? Okay.
Right.
Where you going? Where you going? None of your goddamn business. Where you coming from? Again, the same answer.
Yeah.
You got any guns? Got any guns?
Your wife's house.
Yeah, okay. I've never been that crazy. I ain't never been that shit that crazy. Them motherfuckers, they got me. Where I lived at back then, it was a whole lot of factories. Oh no, they was whooping niggas' ass in the factories back then. No, I wasn't going to the factories. Nah. But yeah, man, as we sit here and we talk about old times and hopefully not talking about future times, because they're talking about bringing back stop and frisk, which was a major violation of people's civil rights. But before I even go there, I was thinking about something, man. Y'all was talking earlier. I've been doing podcast or TV shows for over 30 years, man. I started in 1992 in Compton, Comcast, doing a public access show. And I said, and I sometimes I go back and as I digitize some of my shows, I go back and watch them as they turn from analog tape to a digital file, and I realized something, especially in the hood. We are dealing with some of the same issues from 1992, 93 today. We're one of the few groups, few cultures that have to have organizations to keep us from killing each other.
You know what, Lonzo? Here's something I've been trying to preach for a while now. The only way that you can change the system is get inside the system.
Okay.
And one of the things I believe that for us to be able to change the system is that we need to start running for office. These black men who are in here, who talk about, what's going on. They know what's going on inside the hood. They need to be running for Senate. They need to be running for Congress. They need to be running for local government, because we need those individuals in office versus people coming from Chicago, people coming from Palos Verdes, trying to tell us how to run our neighborhoods. They don't know.
Right.
And Trump, as much as I'm not a fan of his, he has shown us that, you can come into office with a negative background and still be able to run for office. So we got homies that's coming out the pen right now, or who've been out the pen for a while. That could be some great politicians. But it's just a fact of them you know, the same mentality they had when they was out there doing what they was doing, running the hood. Now they need to have that same mentality when it comes to running this city or this county, and get in there. And they're gonna have the support of the community because most of the community knows, man, dude, you would make a good daggone politician. You already got criminals in there now, so let's go and put another criminal up in there.
Right.
You know, and literally, we need to start doing that, thinking about that now.
Speaking as politician, I got to give a shout out to my boy Marquette Hawkins, aka Clientele. He just won the mayoral seat in California City. I just talked to my boy.
California City, yes sir.
What?
Yeah, my boy Wrecking Crew, OG Wrecking Crew member, Eve After Dark, Mark Clientele just won the seat to be the mayor of California City. I just talked to him. It was made me feel proud to hear he was running. He's a real smart dude. He's going to get his doctorate degree right now. He said he has 2 chapters left to do his to finish his thesis, and he'll be Dr. Hawkins. And he stepped into the political game. And where he is, it's a few people look like him, not a whole lot. But he said, I was teasing him. I said, passing all of them flyers and all them high schools paid off for your ass, didn't it? He said, man, you know what? Yeah, right, it did. Because when you are a politician, there's no difference between a politician and a promoter.
No.
You're promoting yourself, and you have to go where the people are.
Right.
And sometimes you got to knock on somebody's door. We never knocked on doors, but we did a lot of events to draw people out because we figured if we draw them out, these are people that go out anyway. Politicians a little bit different. Sometimes you got to go to them. He said he said he must have knocked on every door trailer park, every door in California City. And when it came time for the ballot, people recognized his name, and he won in a semi-landslide, which I'm really proud of.
That's dope.
Man, you need to have that button on the system where you put applause come up.
Oh, I got one of them shit. Hold on there. Where'd it go? Hold on there. Let me find my applause button.
You get old, Lonzo. You had to grunt just to get up, bro.
Man, I was comfortable. Shit. Put my applause button.
It's called an ergonomical chair.
Wait. I got everything except for my I got a boo, I got laughter, I got sad music, I got my boy from The Wire, I even got my boy from Touche Turtle.
Drizzle, drazzle, druzzle, drone. Time for this one to come home.
I gotta get my laugh track at, man. I'll figure. I'll put it back on there. I know I got it. Hold on there. Nope.
Oh, that's when you see that beautiful woman coming down the street.
Yeah. Oh, stop.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, some shit now. Oh, shit. All right, I stopped it. Anyway, folks, y'all got me doing too much over here. Yeah, folks, you're live with the Mentality Show. We talking about the aftermath of the election, how we feel as men, how we feel as men, man, because a lot of this stuff inadvertently affects us more than a lot of people. We start talking about police having immunity to shoot people. Who do you think they're gonna be shooting?
You know what, Lonzo? That's another one. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Curtis.
No. Please go ahead, Kevin.
We need to get, again, we got these young black men that are capable of becoming police officers. I mean, to change that system, man, we got to get in there. And some of our black men, they toting guns out here now and they got no criminal record. They might as well go and have a legal manner of toting a gun now and become law enforcement. We just got to change how we view things, man, and stop telling ourselves what we can't do and start looking at what we need to do and what we can do.
I have 2 nephews in law enforcement. We talk about this all the time. He said, when I first got into this, man, I felt some kind of way. I enjoyed the job for a minute, but said your own people make you feel like shit. You know, again, like we said earlier with Kamala, man, if you wasn't doing crime, I wouldn't have you. You wouldn't be in these goddamn handcuffs. You mad at me for doing my job?
Right.
That's the kind of game we run on each other. You know, it's like it's the same way as in school when people clown the cat that got the A. Why are you clowning him? And I said this many times when I had the club, the banquet hall. I did more parties for cats coming home or going to jail than I did for people coming home or going to college. It's just something have gotten us twisted in this gangster, this hood thing, man. It just don't make sense. You get brother gets more love for going to prison or coming home from prison than they do going to college.
Do you think it's because of the television?
No, I don't think it's because of the television at all. It's just, you know, it just seems like society is infatuated with tragedy, you know, versus victory. You know what I mean? And so if you've gone through something and survived it, it's like, oh, you know, you a bad man, you know. Instead of celebrating the fact that's just, you know, that you're in that situation. What I was going to piggyback on in terms of the immunity for shooting people, you know, there needs to be some type of psychological regulations that's established there, because a lot of you know, not anything about our police forces and everything, but it seems like a lot are dealing with their own mental health issues as well. They come to work every day and they hit the streets, and that's not being addressed. So they need an opportunity to be able to sort out their issues, to be able to not walk in fear and not be impulsive in terms of how to resolve problems. And you know, that one dude that they told the first guy in the morning 20 times to stop. By the end of the day, they're fed up. They're only going to tell that dude that one time, and they're going to snap. So, you know, how do they deal with that? So I think there needs to be some psychological regulations going on in the police force if that's going to be the case.
Well, I just hope whatever happens, man, that we find a way to make it through. You know, my next fear is because Homeboy don't look healthy at all. He look like he barely got through this son of a gun. Your next fear is that some bitch behind him, JD Vance. He's young and stupid, and he got the backbone of a jellyfish. He's the same. He was the same
young, stupid, and backbone of a jellyfish.
Yeah, young, stupid, and backbone of a jellyfish. Okay, he's the same one that called Trump Hitler. He said Trump is like Hitler, but I don't see how do you jump on Hitler's bandwagon unless you got this. There's a part two to this. There's a part two. If Joe Biden had won, he could have stepped down and gave it to Kamala. If Joe Biden had stayed in, won the election, because only person Donald Trump could beat is women. Think about that. Only people he's ever beaten in an election was women.
That's true. Yeah, because he beat Hillary and
he beat Hillary. He beat Hillary. Now he beat nobody else. He couldn't beat Joe. Okay, so when you know, and when you see those kind of scenarios, think about this for a minute. This dude is unqualified. He ain't never been a dog catcher. Okay, he ain't never been a dog catcher. Hillary, state senator, did all kind of shit, married to the first lady, blah, blah, blah. Same with Kamala. She's been a prosecutor, state senator, blah, blah, blah. He's educated, smart, both of them, educated and smart. Donald Trump sued his school not to show his damn transcripts. Okay. This motherfucker dumb as mud, but he got enough money, like Kurt said earlier. He got enough money to hire some smart son of bitches. Okay.
Well, that's what Mark Cuban said. Mark Cuban said if you want to become wealthy, it's not based off of your intelligence, but it's off the intelligence of the people that surround you.
Mhm.
So he bought some smart people, and no matter what happens, they always got an answer for everything. Whatever he said, they got a way to twist it up, make it and make his base feel comfortable. That's not what he meant. He meant this right here. Okay, now he got what he wants. I'm sorry, I lied my damn self. He did mean that after all. Bottom line is,
Mhm.
beat 2 women. You can grab pussies, felonies, and he's still the man.
Right.
And I don't know whether that's one of them experimental situations or it just happened to fall that way. Would you rather have this criminalistic felon than an educated, viable candidate with all this experience? And the answer is yes.
I mean, look at some of the Trump supporters. Them some of the dumbest people I've seen out in my world. They gonna like they had that that insurrection, and they grabbed that one. My cousin said this, man, and it had me laughing. He said, you know, when you look at the white women that was following Trump, they not very bright. That one girl that went up inside the White and the Capitol, she was, I thought we were just going in there just to protest. Why they beating on us? He's like, man, them the same ones you can go in and say, look, you know, if everything okay, just go on and suck it. Just suck it. And it's gonna give you protein, it's gonna give you all the nutrients that you need. And just go on and hit it. You for real? Give it to me, bro. Yeah, it's gonna give you protein. I eat some pineapples. Go on and put your mouth on it, and it's gonna take care of you. And you know what? You better get that nice booty like them sisters, because all the protein is gonna give you. Really? Yeah, go ahead. Then the same one. They are so daggone dingy. You can tell them that they probably get down there and start bobbing.
I saw episode one time.
It was wild, man.
I love watching Bill Maher, and he sent one of his reporters out to the field, and he says he was in a crowd of mega hat wearing cats. He says, "What do you think about the Affordable Care Act?" Oh, I love the Affordable Care Act. I got my eyes fixed. I got my blood pressure in check. I'm doing great now, thanks to the Affordable Care Act. What do you think about Obamacare? Oh, I can't stand Obamacare. I would never use that.
Dummy.
Wow.
Bitch, you dumb. You get stupid.
How about this one? How about this one, bro? They asked a Trump supporter. They said when they was doing the Obama ordeal, they said, I don't believe Obama was born here in the United States, and we need proof. They said, well, what if you get his mom and daddy? I'm not going to believe his mom and daddy because that's not a viable source. So they said, okay, so Trump was born here in the United States. It's like, yeah. So what if we ask his mom and his daddy? Oh, I believe him. He said, but I just thought you said that the mother and the father was not a viable source. He said, where you hear that from? He said, you just said it out your mouth. Oh, well, that's it's like some of those brain dead people that, and these are the people who are running around here, acting like that Trump is. I mean, I can't say nothing too bad about the man because you know he's doing exactly what most of us want to do.
You know what?
And that he's saying what he want to say.
His biggest claim to fame is he's used his name. He's licensed his name on everything. Most of the stuff his name was on, he don't own.
Right. No.
Most of the stuff his name was on, his name is only it's been licensed. Like Shaq would do the same thing. Shaq did the same. He made a lot of money with theaters and Starbucks. He owned a couple of them, but he also licensed his name to them. Mm-hmm. And that was a big deal for him because his name carried a lot of weight, especially in New York. And it seems like he might be licensing himself again to the presidency just to get in so he can make way for a new, fresher, stupid fool. Because homeboy, special needs, for real. Vance, he's special needs. He just shy of a helmet. Huh?
Special needs.
He just shy of a helmet. Okay? He's about two chromosomes past the helmet.
2 chromosomes past the helmet.
He only got he made it. They needed 5. That's how much got 7. God damn it! But he ain't got a full 10.
Wow.
with the jelly with the backbone of a jellyfish, it ain't good, man. And that's what I believe. I believe that he got in there.
Backbone of a jellyfish.
He got in there to do what he had to do, and at some point in time, he might step back, step off. Or he just might have one of them a health issue. It might require him to step aside and let JD Vance run it, and then that way, Elon Musk and everybody else could get everything they want out of it. And I just thought about something. Elon Musk and Kennedy, that motherfucker sound like a broken robot.
Yeah, he sure do.
He sound like a fucked up robot.
So it's I don't know, I don't know how he got that voice.
He had a worm in his head. They found a dead worm in his head, man. I'm not bullshitting. I'm serious as shit. The dude had a dead worm in his head. Okay, he's been doing some weird shit for a while.
You know what? I'm sorry, Lonzo. You said they found a dead. So usually when they find a worm in your body, it's alive. You mean to tell me it's no nutrients in that man that the worm died inside his body?
Died. It can eat his brain. It wasn't enough there to eat. Worm starved to death.
Right.
You said a brain worm died of starvation in his head.
Starved to death, couldn't find nothing to eat.
Yo, wilding on the presidents, man.
Couldn't find shit.
Oh,
He could have put him in charge of health. There's a bunch of other shit. I'm like, oh man, we ain't gonna get no vaccines. Kids ain't gonna get no measles and shit. You know, because homeboy Kennedy don't believe in vaccines. And I got my issues with some vaccines. I got about some. I wasn't fond of some of that shit, but I ain't never had measles again either. You know, people talk that shit because I didn't want to get the COVID shot. I'm a child, yeah, call me stupid, call me what you want to call me, but I didn't want to get the COVID shot. Right. And then people said, man, you got the measles shot and blah, blah, blah. I said, you know what? When I got the measles shot back in the 60s, it was a different medical industry. It was a different industry. Doctors still came to your house and they gave a damn about your ass. It hadn't been corporatized yet. Okay. Right. I don't know. My doctor to come to he had made house calls to the pad. When I had measles, I remember him coming to the pad and giving me a shot. I remember getting my little vaccination immune what's it called? Immune shot.
Immunization.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The shot.
That word.
Yeah, that word. I still got the damn little scar on my arm. It just went away. It might still be there. I ain't looked at it for a while, but
that's that circle one on your arm.
Right. I tell you what, because of that, I never had measles again. Okay.
Well, see, bro, I was a pincushion in the military, so that's why they said, every time we went to war, it's like she shot us up, man. We got so many daggone shots that when they said they'll give me a vaccine, like, man, I'm filled with all this other stuff, so I'll take the vaccine. Yeah. I ain't gone yet.
Agent Orange couldn't kill me. I'm good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, man, we got a long road to hoe. We're going through some shit. You know, it's gonna be hard to watch him put his little hand on the Bible and tell all them lies about him upholding the Constitution. He don't give a shit about the Constitution.
Is he gonna use his Bible?
Ow. That motherfucker ain't sanctioned by nobody, okay?
Right.
That Bible ain't sanctioned by nobody. I don't even know what he might have himself as Jesus. I don't know.
Wow.
You never know.
I don't know. I don't understand how many people realize how many his cabinet went to the penitentiary behind fucking with him.
Didn't all of them?
Most of them. Only one didn't go to jail was Pence because he was scared they was gonna kill him.
Yeah,
why would you want to be the vice president? And he tried to kill his last. Well, it's like your wife. Your wife tried to kill you, and somebody else go marry. And Kurt go marry because she tried to kill you. Why would you want to do that?
Well, Pence was licking the side of the bus with a helmet on, so we knew something was wrong with him.
He was a window licking motherfucker.
Yeah, wow.
He was a window licker. Anyway, folks, we got about 15 seconds left. Kurt, say goodbye, man. Tell them where to find you at.
Peace out. I'm at Midlife in Times on Instagram. Also, make sure that you hit up Mentally Talk on Instagram. Talk to you next week.
Kevin Collins.
Convo with Kev on all the platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You can find me.
This is the Mentality Show, folks, live with Lonzo, Kurt, Kevin. We just trying to kick it on from a man perspective, folks. Join us next week about this time, and it's going to be all right. Trust me. All right, peace, folks.
Peace.
One love.